Hi everyone, welcome back to Vegan Rock Climbing, today with a quick video on salt. Okay man, you say you don't eat meat, I can understand that. Then you say you don't eat dairy and eggs and stuff. I mean, that's already pretty extreme in my opinion. And now you want to tell me that you don't even eat salt? I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, actually I would say I avoid salt. I avoid added salts to be more accurate, because as we know, literally any whole plant food contains salt naturally, so it wouldn't make any sense if you say I don't eat salt at all, because that's simply not possible. And when I mean salt, I mean table salt, I mean sodium chloride, which is basically the chemical designation for table salt. So let's get into it. Why should it make sense to reduce salt intake in your diet? Reason number one, salt consumption causes significant weight gain due to water retention. How does that work? Well, in a nutshell, sodium chloride makes up the main minerals of our extracellular fluid, namely sodium and chloride. From an evolutionary point, this makes sense if we suppose that living cells developed in the seawater, in the ocean, where they had to maintain a gradient between a salty outside and a less salty inside over their cell membrane in terms of sodium chloride. To be careful here, because there are other salts involved here as well, of course. This is supposed to be the reason why multicellular organisms like us still carry these minerals, this sodium and chloride, in our extracellular fluid, simply because our cells are adapted to it. Our body is very accurate when it comes to measuring the salt concentration in our extracellular fluid, simply because it's essential for our cells to work properly. When we ingest an abnormally salty meal, additional salt enters our body, causing a rise in concentration of sodium chloride in our extracellular fluid. In order to attenuate this rise in concentration, our body sends us immediately the urge, the order to drink. You will drink lots and lots of water, and this additional water will be again taken up by the body, causing in turn the sodium chloride concentration to fall again, causing a falling in sodium chloride concentration. So as you can see, the problem obviously is solved, right? Yes, but you're now, let's say, 1 kilo heavier than before, because you drank 1 liter of additional water, which you wouldn't have drank otherwise. And this is how you gain water weight when you're ingesting a very salty meal. You can check for that. If you're drinking lots and lots of water and not running to the toilet right afterwards, which would normally occur if you drink lots of water, then you can recognize that you've gained additional water weight during the process. And that's of course a big disadvantage if you're an athlete who participates in a weight-dependent sport, like a climber for example. Getting rid of the additional water weight takes a few days, because the water will stay within us as long as we don't excrete the additional salt via sweat and urine, and this takes some time. By the way, if you're an extremely lean person, you can notice your weight gain, your water weight gain after a very salty meal the next day in the mirror. You can look at your face and you will notice that your face will be puffier, a lot puffier than usual. And this is because all of the extra fluid that your body holds in this moment. So this effect is definitely noticeable, not only on the scale, but also in the mirror even. Reason number two is kind of associated with the effect of water retention. It is simply not healthy to carry so much extra volume of fluid in your body. Extracellular fluid is comprised of blood and lymph. When we ingest an abnormally salty meal and add lots of extra volume of fluid to these compartments, this will cause our blood pressure to rise, and that's definitely not healthy. The easiest way to reduce high blood pressure fast is actually to reduce salt intake, if you're adapted to a high salt diet, of course. Now on the other hand, an extremely low salt diet coupled with high water intake can be dangerous, especially if you do sports which cause a lot of salt excretion due to sweating, like let's say running in the heat or cycling in the heat or stuff like that. In this case, the blood pressure might fall dangerously low due to kind of a sodium chloride deficiency. However, at least with me it's the case that I don't sweat a lot. This might be due to my sport. I'm a climber, so yeah, even if I train a lot, I don't sweat a lot. I don't know why. Some other climbers do sweat a lot. That's not the case with me, so I have the feeling that I can definitely reduce my salt intake in order to minimize weight and maximize athletic performance. And I don't have any negative experience, like problems with my circulation or stuff like that. Another disadvantage of a low salt diet is the lack of taste, of course. This can be challenging, especially at the beginning when your taste buds are still adapted to a high salt diet. And this is also something that tells us a little bit about the natural human environment, you know? Because obviously our body likes to tell us that salty things are good for us, you know? They taste good, so we like to eat them. And this tells us that we, in former times, lived in an environment without any table salt, of course, you know? We had to get our salt from nature. And this is how the body told us that salty things taste better, because we need salt for our survival, and there was simply no salt around other than in natural plant foods or in animal products or whatever. We are essentially salt gatherers here, okay? We are aiming to get a lot of salt in because there is not much salt around. And in this artificial environment where we live in today, there is lots of salt around, and this is why people get misled by their instinct, alright? So this is the classy trade-off here again. How much taste are you willing to sacrifice in order to minimize weight and maybe maximize your athletic performance? And I would say that's it for this video again, guys. I hope you got something out of it. I'm always interested in your opinion. Please tell me in the comments down below why you eat a high salt diet, or why you do not eat a high salt diet, why you avoid salt like me. And as always, share, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.